Welcome to Altcoin Daily with Bitcoin Gorilla, where I use simple price action to tell you what I think the price is going to do next. Now, I do not use indicators, so if you're new to trading, don't worry about it getting complicated because this chart is going to contain a lot of fundamentals and I'll be giving you and explaining the terms that I use. If at the end of this video you find it quite interesting, give me a thumbs up by clicking the like button below. What does it do? It gives me this joy knowing that somebody actually find my style quite interesting and appreciates me, right? And makes me want to do more video, right? Now, if you are new to this channel, you will want to subscribe because you will get a notification when next I'm dropping the next altcoin. It could be the one in your portfolio, and all I'm here to do is share my opinion in a broad daylight, drawing my chart from scratch that you can even follow along and learn with me, right? Now, I remember Bitcoin Gorilla, and today's coin is called Yield Finance, YFI. What is YFI price going to do next? Is YFI going to dump more or is it going to what? Pump. Now, according to my last analysis, I talked about YFI pumping. The question is that pump has not happened yet because price has actually been stuck in a position. I made this around 2 weeks ago, and this is a weekly chart. So the price is still in that position. Now, I talked about also how price is going to go sideways for quite some time. But before we jump straight into making this update and find out what has changed in YFI, I want us to basically understand the fundamentals of YFI. It is good to have the fundamentals because these days there's a lot of shitty altcoin like Squad Game coin and the so-called fluffy coin and all of that that has really been very shitty and taking people's money and running. You don't want to fall involved with that. This is why in this channel we've decided to be putting more fundamentals for you to know what the basis of the coin is. So in the terms of SR YFI, not SRP, in the terms of yield finance, 24,685.47 is the current price that yield finance is currently trading according to coin market cap. Now, what makes yield finance so unique, and why should I even buy this coin? Now, according to CoinMarketCap again, Yield Finance set out to simplify DeFi investment and activities such as yield farming, right? For the broader investors. If you are into investing with big money and all of that, then Yield Finance could give you huge profit. How? Now, this is the website of Yield Finance. What they are claiming is that the coin that is Yield Finance has only total supply of 36,666, which is why the supply is very limited, which means a little demand in the coin will skyrocket the price. This is why this coin was able to around 7 months ago, this coin hits the price of $93,435, which has overcome Bitcoin current price that it just hit around 70K or so. This coin has overtook Bitcoin in the past. That was 7 months ago. But since then, this coin has also lost about 73% of that move, and currently is trading at 24,600 range. Right now, the thing is, what is the all-time low the price has ever dropped? This price was all-time price was $739.44. That is around a year ago. Now that we have this fundamentals, I want us to jump into the main analysis and see where this coin or what this coin is going to do next. Now, I'm going to start by getting the all-time resistance, which is here. That I'm going to map it out with a horizontal line, the all-time support, which is here. Now, what is support and resistance? A resistance is an area where price gets to, then it gets instantly paused by an insane force, then forced to change direction, either to move sideways for a while before continuing the journey, or completely reverse the direction. So in our situation, this is such position, right? You can see price was moving. When it got here, it was forced to pause and change direction, right? And in this situation, the same thing, right? What is now support? Support is an area where price was dumping, and when price got to that area, price could not dump any further because there's a force or something preventing price from dumping. Instead, price changes direction and start moving up. Now, what is that hidden force? The hidden force is supply that stops price from moving up, and the hidden force here is demand. We're going to see those hidden force by the time we draw the chart finish. So let's find out the other hidden points where price acted or get rejected just the same way. So you can see I am mapping them out. Point where price had such reactions. You can see, I can show you, you can see the point here. It goes up, it got rejected, it comes down, it got rejected, and something like that. Now I can see some hidden ones that I've not actually pointed out, because I can see here there's a rejection, I can see here there's a rejection, but I can't just put too many lines on my chart. It's going to make the chart untradable, right? It's going to make it quite very confused. So I like leaving my chart very simple, and this is why I'm going to go further to implement in treating this area, this support and resistance as an area. I treat my support and resistance as an area. So the first thing I would do is contain the whole entire drama of the um price action in one box, right? So what I need to do is find the support and resistance. Now this time around, I'm going to treat the support and resistance as an area. So what does this area do is it prevents me from getting stop loss hunt, right? So instead of when price comes, instead of me depending on price to stop at this, instead I know it's an area, which means I know that whenever price enters this area, chances of a bounce is high, or whenever price touch the point of the top of it or is within it, it could bounce. That is all what that area is telling me, right? So I'm going to get the same area for what? For resistance, right? So this is the resistance area right here. So sorry about the background noise. That's my dog. Okay. So the next thing I want to get is, could I get further boxes from this chart? Let's find out together. So I can see that also there's a consolidation. Now my box contains consolidation, because even the biggest box that I first drew is consolidation. This price is still stuck. It's back to where it started. It's back to this point. And consolidation is sideways movement. And there's no difference. So as it goes like this, it's expected to go up. That is one of the secret that my box is hiding, right? So, but we're going to find out how to deal with that secret. So this is the new box. So I would like to change the color of this box. So that's the new box. And let's get the color of the resistance and support as well. Let's use blue. So that is the support area, and this is the resistance area of this second box. So now I am having two boxes, and each of these box has support and resistance area. Beautiful. So the next thing I want is, I want to see if I can employ some trend lines, right? What can trend lines do on this chart for me? Now trend line needs a minimum of two touches, right? 2 points where price touch. Now this is the seller's line. I could get, let's start with the buyer's line. Let's start with the buyer's line. First, I can see that there's been a broken trend line already. Where was this trend line broken? Now I can see I need to minimum of two touches. So right here I have, there is one, there's two, there's three, but then it broke the trend line. So I'm going to take note of that trend line. And then I could also have a seller's trend line. Now this is now looking like a channel, an expanding channel, more like. So I need also minimum of two touches. So this is more like an expanding channel. Now every channel has two parties that partake in it. Now I always tell you something, is that price moves based on supply and demand, right? This is demand move price to hit the supply zone, it returns and hit the demand zone, it moves and hit the supply zone, it returns to the demand zone, and it's going to give again to the supply zone, it returns to the demand zone. This is how price move. That is what is called a channel. There are two parties that trade a channel, the buyers and the sellers exist. This is why it's good to understand the pattern when you want to trade it. Now, having the fact that this is an expanding channel, and we have price has currently broken this channel. very important detail is this breakdown here. Price has broken this channel. So does it mean we are having yet another line that we are ignoring? Because I could see, if we talk about two touches, then I could be able to expand, have yet um another line right here. So the question is this not going to break also, just like this particular coin broke, right? Is this not going to break also, just like this particular line broke? Is this line not going to break? Now, first of all, let's not depend on the lines. Let's use my box strategy and see what the box strategy is saying. Now, according to my box strategy, let's take away the last this. According to the box strategy, it tells me that when price is within a support range, it is chances are high that it's going to bounce. Now, the first time for a support to break or for a resistance to break, there has to be multiple hits on that resistance. When I start seeing countless hits on my resistance or support, I know that chances of breakdown or breakup is coming, right? Now, in this situation of our support, you can see this hit when it was going up, and when it returned, there was countless hit on this, and it break not just the trend line, it also broke my box. Now, if you watch my last analysis on Wi-Fi, I talked about how price, you shouldn't get FOMOed or get worried because price is going to pull up. Why? Because I'm expecting price to get to the box, this box, and exactly price has just done that. Price just hit that box. You can see the top of the box. We have arrived at the top of the box, and there's currently a double bottom. So I do see the chances are high that we're going to get a pull up. But here's the thing, there's going to be a challenge in that pull up. It's not going to be an easy one, right? It could be, who knows, depending on the demand that lies here, because this is the weekly chart, and this is a weekly higher time frame strong demand area. So a lot of people, especially whale traders, they trade higher time frame. So a lot of them who go for long term investing will look at the higher time frame chart, and we want to put their demand on this higher support. This support is not as strong as this support. This is a very strong area. You can see that is the previous point that has held this coin all its life, right? So I do see this point being a very challenging point to break down. So if the challenge of breakdown is high, then price is likely going to travel to the least resistance area, which is up. If the resistance is high on the downside in going down, then price is definitely going to face up. So we're going to have a sideways movement here. The sideways movement is that the demand in these areas are picking up, right? As these demands are picking up, you're going to see price is going to pull back up to this support. Now, pulling back up to this support with the reaction we have here when the price return and the reaction we had here when the price is going tells me that we're going to have a little struggle again here. It's data repeats itself a lot of time. History, they say, repeat itself. We're going to have a little sideways here. The reason is they are trying to come back to this support, and automatically when a support is broken, it automatically becomes what? A resistance. And when a resistance is broken, it automatically becomes a support. So if before this place was a support and then price broke below it, then if price is going to go back above it, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to become a new obstacle, because now price will have to break above it again. It's just the same thing. You can see when price break below this point, this place was a resistance, but when price break above it, the supply was too much here. Now, what makes a resistance and supply and support break is depending on the demand and the supply. The supply in this area was definitely too strong. The supply here, sorry, in this area was too strong that it kept printing lower highs, and at the same time pushed and break the support that it has been holding for a while. So the demand in this area was so strong that it broke the point that was stopping it before, right? You can see when it comes, the demand kept growing and price kept going up, right? So you must understand that every support and resistance break. So don't say that because this is a support, it's not going to break, then you are definitely deceiving yourself, because chances are that if the supply keeps growing, the point you think is going to be a support is going to be broken. It happened in Bitcoin, it happened in so many altcoins. Last week or last 2 weeks, they broke all their support, including Wi-Fi. This was the support it was respecting, it dived straight to it. This is why I keep encouraging the use of stop loss. Learn how to implement stop loss in your altcoin, especially if you're trading and you have your coin in exchanges. You can use manually on spot. I know there's lots of these exchanges don't allow support. They don't have manual. They don't have automatic way of setting stop loss. You have to set it manually. So if you need to really learn how stop loss work, how stop limit order especially work in a way that helps you set order ahead of time, that if anything goes wrong and price goes below where you enter, the price the market should sell the price automatically, even if you are not available or you're not close to the your system. The market will automatically close the coin. Now, the good thing about stop loss is if things go your way, that order will never pick. So if I enter a position here and I put a stop loss here, if this price never drops below this point, I will be in this position for as long as this trade walk run, right? You can also learn how to pyramid the stop loss. Now, if something goes wrong, which can happen at every market, because you don't know how many people are going to buy, that is demand. You don't know how many people are going to sell, that is supply. Even if you have a little overview of what is going to enter the market, a lot of people treat support and resistance as a line. And in this situation whereby price breaks this line, what if it's a stop loss hunt, right? Stop loss hunt is will and market makers breaking the point where most people entered. You can see that a lot of people really bought this point, even when it's going up, and they thought it's going to continue the move. They thought it was just a mini retest and going to continue the move. But you can see they came and it broke that support, which means a lot of people's stop loss were cleared. But the point is, how further down is it going to go? What if it pulls back up and then the real move starts? It means it has kicked so many people out of trade, and those people, they will be scared of entering back this trade. This is what consolidation actually does a lot of time, and then that is what they call a spring in price action. You can go and study more about a spring. That is when price intentionally breaks support only to come back above it and continue the move. Because I treat support and resistance as a line, I know that chances are that there is still another chance of a bounce. This is why I kept encouraging you to hold. Even from my last analysis, when everybody was worried about the market dumping, I said, hang on, we're going to have this price return back up, and probably we could be seeing ourselves above 90K very soon on Wi-Fi. So if you do like my analysis, my style, give me a thumbs up by clicking the like button. It's going to touch my soul. It's going to make me happy and joyous, because why? It shows me that somebody really find my style quite interesting. And I do have an academy that I started. It's called Makaveli Traders. The link is, I will leave the link under this video, where I train traders on how to trade, and not just train them. You see, I'm a very open person. So after I train you, you have access to train with me for a lifetime. Like, take every trade I trade. I share my futures, my sport, and all my trade with my students, right? So after I train you for 3 months on the Zoom, you're going to be trading every day with me. You're going to have access to all the trading book, over 50 trading books, free for a lifetime, right? There's no hidden charges, there's no monthly payment, there's no yearly payment. No. Even in the future, don't worry about it. You only need a one-time access. And once you are in, you are in. I will share all my knowledge with you, my trading psychology, and I will always be there to give you instant insight on what the market is going to do next. Makaveli traders, we knew when the dump was coming for 68K, we shorted it. Makaveli traders, in fact, I posted the video here. We knew when price was going up, we bought it, and we've been doing quite well. And one thing I'll tell you is this stop loss is giving a lot of headache. A lot of people get stuck in the market. It happens to me. I do make the mistake of forgetting to use stop loss sometimes, but trust me, if it happens to you, you're going to learn. Because this market, 2017 taught me that market could keep going down for a long time, 3 years, without even blinking. This is why you need to learn how to use stop loss. Even if you don't listen to anything I say here, please go and learn how to use stop loss, because this market is very volatile. I remember Bitcoin Gorilla. Subscribe. The next analysis could be in your portfolio. Happy trading. I wish you best of luck. Everything about Makaveli traders, I'll leave in the link below.